There's this idea
that is introduced to us girls from a young age.
that tells us that we
When physically exerting ourselves,
cannot be taken seriously. This is just, it's wrong.
This assumption rolls over into how women aren't treated as fairly as men at sports, whether it may be having a lower quality soccer field or gymnasium.
Or not having the proper equipment that is suitable for us to use. Before 1972, before Title IX, it was a joke for women and girls to be seen as worthy competitors in any sport. Title IX is a critical piece of legislation that enables women and girls in both college and high school to compete in athletics at the same level as men.
In a lot of ways, girls experience a real lack of respect where they were very gifted. You could be a talented athlete at the high school or middle school level, but there would be nowhere for you to go. There weren't any college scholarships for you. Girls were barred from Little League, even if they were the best slugger in town. They could turn to something like the AAU, but then after that, where could they go?
It was passed in 1972, prohibiting any sort of discrimination in any educational program on the basis of sex.
Same quality equipment?
Same quality fields.
In both 2002 and 2007, a coalition of wrestlers sued the Department of Education, claiming that Title IX discriminated against men.
Many other similar allegations have been made from schools such as the University of Chicago and the National Wrestling Coaches Association, but all arguments have been shot down.
Other myths include the idea that Title IX forces schools to cut sports for boys and men. This is not true. According to the National Women's Law Center, Title IX does not require schools to cut any sport. It allows schools to make choices about how to structure their programs so long as they do not discriminate.
The argument that the number of men's sports is declining because of Title IX is also a myth. In reality, the number of men in sports has grown exponentially ever since the passage of Title IX. According to the National Collegiate Athletics Association, in 2010 and 2011, NCAA member organizations had a net gain of 1,000 men's teams. As a result, Title IX has not only allowed girls and women to participate in sports, but it has also lessened the prevalence of the gender gap that has perpetuated the idea that women cannot be taken seriously in sports.
Well, in many ways, if you look at the CEOs and boardrooms, if you look at professional schools, prior to Title IX, there were quotas, and women were capped in terms of going to professional schools. Now women make up half of those going to law school, half of those going to business school. You have seen a great expansion of women into many non-traditional fields. But there still is tremendous work to do.
despite what some people might say about the downfalls of Title IX.
First, try to see what Title IX has done for girls like me.
In 1973, the nation was captivated when 29-year-old Billie Jean King defeated tennis ace Bobby Riggs in a match dubbed the Battle of the Sexes. A match met with more fanfare than any other in tennis history. For King, it wasn't about proving she had the skill to beat a man on the court. It was about the future.
Why was that so important to you? Because it was about much more than a match for you.
Oh, it was about social change. I had the opportunity to go to the University of North Carolina because of soccer, and I gained a college degree out of it. And in the end, that education will serve me for the rest of my life.
I was a three-time first-team All-American for the NCAA in Division III, and reached the Final Four 3 of my 4 years. I was UCSD Athlete of the Year my senior year. I happened to coach one of the most talented group of young women that I've ever coached in my 25-year coaching career. I was named Coach of the Year for Cal South last year. And Title IX just offered opportunities that were not there before the law went into place. For me, why it's so important, it offered opportunities in different careers that you couldn't even thought of. So the young women that I coach, they look at life in a totally different way than even my mom did. That anything's possible. They want to be an astronaut, if they want to be an engineer, if they want to be a teacher, if they want to be a professional athlete. They don't even think twice about it. Young girls wouldn't necessarily dream big and think there's room for them. They might have thought certain fields were just not possible. women's rights, women's movement, being taken seriously in perhaps a male-dominated career or something like that. So again, it's not that I believe that it should be automatically given to women. I just believe that we should be treated equal.
I've played badminton, varsity badminton, for 3 years now. It's really enabled me to kind of find my place and my passion. This past year we won CIFs and league, and that has, really given me that sense of gratitude and, that hard work pays off. Title IX has given me the confidence to pursue what I love to do without the fear of unfair treatment.
Title IX has made a positive impact on my life because it enables me to play soccer at the collegiate level. Next fall I will be attending North Carolina State University on scholarship, and I plan on majoring in biomedical engineering or physical therapy. Title IX is just really important to me because without it, I wouldn't be the person who I am today, and I would have never made anything of myself through soccer, which is my passion, so I'm grateful for it.
With Title IX, we're here to prove that we are capable of competing with the same amount of passion and drive as any other male athlete out there.
If it weren't for Title IX, people like Mia Hamm, Billie Jean King, and my coach Felicia Kappas wouldn't have had the opportunity to make a difference in my life as well as others.
Because of Title IX, I am.
We are
Proud to compete like a girl.